Hello, hello. Here we are in New Orleans,
Wow.
Louisiana. Just arrived on a flight from Chicago a couple hours ago. Ubered to our Airbnb, and now we're just kind of walking around. We found ourselves in the French Quarter already, in the first evening out and about. Lots going on here. It's Thursday, and some interesting sights to see, that's for sure.
It's not that cold.
No, we're wearing our jackets, but it's decently mild. Could be warmer, could be a lot colder. That's crazy.
Everything is fine as long as you are mine. As long as you are mine. Oh yeah. Everything is good. The little flaws are understood to be good. Oh yeah.
We made it to the Mississippi River. There's a bridge that goes over. And then behind us is Jackson Square and the famous Basilica. What's it, St. Joseph's Basilica? I think. The sun is just about setting. Hello, hello, good morning. It is day 2 of our trip in New Orleans, and we just had a tasty breakfast at Ruby Red Slipper brunch place off Canal Street, and we just took the not the trolley, it's the streetcar. Streetcar. Not tram, not trolley, but streetcar to City Park, which is a huge park kind of in mid-city, I guess, kind of on the northern end of New Orleans, and the streetcar system is quite easy to use. Actually, there's an app called Le Pass, and you just buy tickets on there. You can get a day ticket to use the whole system for $3, so very affordable.
Just walk right on.
And it's fun to use. There's the Museum of Art in this park, which we might check out a little bit later. Right now we're going to do some birding. This row over here is called the Singing Oak. It's a bit of a landmark, I guess, so we'll go check that out. And there's a bunch of ibises and birds out on the lake there. It's kind of a gloomy, windy day today. It was supposed to be a bit warmer than yesterday, but it's quite windy. There's a wind advisory, so it's not the warmest. Hopefully it warms up a bit. The sun was out this morning, but it's kind of gone now. Oh well. We are prepared for some rain later in the day, so we'll probably do an indoor thing in the afternoon, maybe the museum, maybe the gardens. We shall see. Here's the Singing Oak. have a colombier, which is a pigeon house. See the little roosts up there. An older building from 1928, refurbished in 2005. What do we have here? Traveling light. Looks like some kind of alien spider. And then we have Charles over here in different colors. Alrighty, well, midday update. It's what, like 1:30 or something. We're still in City Park exploring, but the weather is turning pretty quickly. It's gotten really windy and it's about to start raining. We had a few drops earlier, so we made it quite far up into City Park towards the, what is the forest called? Couturie Forest or something. But it started raining, so we turned around and now we're going to go to the Botanical Gardens. Just picked up a little coffee from Café du Monde, which is right there behind us, one of several locations. That's, I guess, a famous cafe in New Orleans.
Cafe au lait and an order of beignets. This is a bag full of powdered sugar by the looks of it. Have a look in there, look at that.
Oh yeah, it's just literally half powdered sugar. It's just like bathed in sugar. And yeah, it's kind of a big, large open park. Haven't seen a whole lot of like, it's pretty empty. There's not a lot of people in the northern side of the park. Sort of unused open space, some big live oak trees like these ones back here. The southern end of the park is a little bit more interesting. There's more ponds, more sort of establishments, the botanical gardens and museums and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just nice to walk around, not be too cold, and explore.
Yeah, it's a nice park. We saw some cool birds.
Saw shrike just now, loggerhead shrike. But it's pretty quiet overall. Lots of ducks and ibises. Well, the wind is just blowing this powdered sugar just everywhere. It's just all over our clothes. Classic. The amount of powdered sugar, is there a beignet in there? It's hard to say. They're pretty tasty though. There it is. Powdered sugar. It's going everywhere. Okay, eating these in the wind is not recommended because it just is causing chaos. Gotta shake it off. You have to shake it off first. What if you dump that whole bag out and that would be littering? It's snowing. This is the Enrique Alvarez Sculpture Garden within the Botanical Gardens. Now we're in the shade garden, perhaps one of the most striking part of the garden. Now in the winter, since most of the flowers are not blooming, but this is very lush and dense. Well, it's raining outside. Luckily we saved some parts of the garden or the indoor parts of the garden for the rain. There's an ink enjoying the rain and fishing in this pond. This is the Perry-style, a cool event building. Well, it's fully raining now, so we are suited up, but we're gonna walk. We won't be deterred. We're gonna walk into the nearest commercial area and get some groceries and some snacks. It's a wet one. Oh my god. Hey, good afternoon now. It's the third day of our trip in New Orleans, and I'm trying to get back to City Park to explore the Couturie Forest, which is a cool forest area in the middle of the park, but it's quite far from Airbnb, and it was a bit of a trek to get here. I ended up taking the streetcar and a bus. I had to wait quite a while for both of those because the streetcar scheduling seems to be a bit off. They always come not when they're scheduled. It seems like they always arrive about 10 minutes after they're scheduled. I don't know. So anyway, it took me about an hour and a half to get to this point. Now I gotta walk another 20 minutes to get into the park, but I'm almost there, so see you on the flip side. Okay, I finally made it to the forest, and it's quite nice, beautiful. This is kind of what I was hoping for to see in City Park, is some native habitat, native forest trees, good birding habitat. It's quite cool out today. The high is like 11 or 12 Celsius, a little bit breezy, so it's pretty fresh. Even though it is January, there's lots of evergreen trees here in this part of the park, so lots of good foliage for birds to hide in. Alright, let's get exploring. It's a pretty small forest, a little patch of habitat in this park, so it probably won't take us too long to explore it, but hopefully there's some birds around, which will certainly stall me a little bit, but let's see what we can find. So there's a ton of birds in the trees here, sort of at this north end of the forest. We've got a mixed flock of gnatcatchers, Carolina chickadees, and some warblers as well. I spotted pine warbler and orange-crowned and some yellow rumps all flitting through the trees here. The gnatcatchers are really cute. They come really close. They're not very shy, so I was able to get some photos of them. But yeah, it's nice to see these birds moving through. Some squirrels around as well. Just trying to get a few more photos of them before they move on. Got an anhinga fishing, sort of watching the water from a branch above, and then behind me is this huge live oak tree, absolutely massive. In this forest, there's a lookout on top of a little rise, so let's see what's up here. Looks like a map of New Orleans. This is sort of the downtown area here. And that's the Mississippi River going through. And then City Park is right there. That's where we are. Today I'm doing some more exploring on foot in the city as we wait to change Airbnbs. I gotta go back to our Airbnb at 3 and move our luggage to the next one. So I'm just kind of taking the opportunity to explore more of the area sort of north east of our Airbnb, including Armstrong Park, which is where I am now. It's a historic park and I guess the center or the birthplace of jazz in New Orleans. Anyway, it's a very quiet Sunday morning. Not even morning anymore, it's just past noon now. Very quiet though, this time of week. Well, there's actually not a whole lot of information about the park from signs within the park. It's just noted that this is a National Historic Site. So the other side of the park is the New Orleans Jazz National Historic Park, which is really just a bunch of old boarded up buildings. It looks like they were damaged quite a bit by hurricanes and whatnot. And then this area here is Louis Armstrong City Park, which is dedicated to Louis Armstrong, who is one of the most prominent sons of jazz in New Orleans. It's located in the Treme neighborhood, which is also where many of the sons of jazz were born in New Orleans. This behind me is the old fire station. And other than that, I guess this place hosts venues and concerts and things like that. There's some cool bridges here, like the one that I'm currently on. Apparently I have to come through here with a walking tour to get the full history, but right now it's pretty quiet on a Sunday midday. The space behind me here is known as Congo Square, which is the site of where many slaves during the late 17th century would gather and perform music and dance and other acts of joy during a time of terrible oppression. And now it's a place that hosts concerts and events and things like that. Very quiet right now, but hopefully I'll be able to return later when there's an event happening. There's lots of beautiful big trees as well.
We got some étouffée here, shrimp and something étouffée.
Is that a fucking coffee?
Étouffée in a cup with a bun wrapped in cellophane.
And also
And egg rolls.
These
egg
are
rolls.
Bowden sausage egg rolls.
Oh.
Baudin.
This is what's inside.
Today is Monday, and it's a rainy, gloomy day today. We're supposed to get some very high wind, chance of a tornado, lots of rain. So it's an indoor work day today, and just thought I'd give a little tour of our new Airbnb. We moved yesterday to the warehouse district, actually right next to the World War II museum. And we're in this large old sort of brick warehouse that's now condos and apartments on the first floor. A very large kitchen, countertop, some large cozy couches, interesting windows that look out onto the overpass just outside. And we're sharing this place with Nick and Carolyn, who are Trey's collaborators and coworkers and our friends. They're staying over there in that room. This is our bedroom here, in a very large space, very high ceilings. Little desk there, little walk-in closet. So yeah, we're here for about a week. Should be an interesting base to do some adventuring out of. How is it? This is our first foray into the local donut scene here. We got Mexican hot chocolate and Vietnamese iced coffee. We just boarded the St. Charles Street trolley, the oldest trolley in the world. It started in 1835. Hey! Today we are exploring Audubon Park, which is the other large park in the city of New Orleans. It's sort of on the far side of Uptown. It's where the zoo is located. Most of it is also a golf course. So we're gonna walk over to the entrance and see what it's all about. Looks like some nice big trees, lots of Pokemon Go stuff. We took the streetcar here from our Airbnb in the warehouse district. It took about half an hour. Very comfortable ride. Lots of cool things to see on the way. Alright, here we are, the entrance to Audubon Park. Alright, so we haven't gotten very far into the park. We heard all this whistling racket, and it turns out there's just legions and legions of black-bellied whistling ducks on the shores of this slough here. They're everywhere. They're in the trees, in the water. There's some turtles as well. But like there's hundreds and hundreds of them. It's crazy, and they're so loud. Now we are at the Fly, which is sort of a greenway park area at the far west end of the city, and it's bordering the Mississippi River, so it's a cool place to come to watch boats go by. We got a couple of huge barges just passing by right now. And there's also a ton of ducks on the water, lots of lesser scaup, and they're just flushed up by the boats right now, so there's just clouds of them in the sky, and lots of trails and stuff for recycling. It's a nice quiet area to come to get away from the city. The first famous king cake. How is it?
Oh my goodness, it's so good. You're a winner, baby.
Are you all excited to board the Creole Queen?
Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna know someone who knows someone.
Well, hello. Here we are on the Creole Queen. We're doing a river tour on the Mississippi River.
Jazz brunch river cruise.
A jazz brunch river cruise tour, yeah. So we booked this last night, and Here we are. We had brunch already downstairs. It's a pretty large boat, but it's nice. There's not too many people on board, and it's a paddle boat.
It's a beautiful day. It's a little windy and cool, but the sun is shining.
Yeah. It's a cool way to see the landscape around the city. So you can see New Orleans back there. That's where we departed, and we're about half an hour into the cruise, I think, and lots of other boats on the water, including some big gray warships or something. I don't know. Some barges, petroleum ships, some other paddle boats over there. I don't know what they are, but there's quite a few cruises happening on this river, so lots of boat traffic. And yeah, we have some live jazz music happening. It's definitely a pretty cool experience. We paid $69 for this tour,
Worth
and
it. Bottomless mimosa.
bottomless mimosas for an extra 20. And the food is really good. There's a selection of breakfast and brunch eats. There's some tasty shrimp gumbo, shrimp and grits, and then eggs and bacon and sausage and all that standard stuff. Yeah.
They're each $35, but for $60 you can do all three. Apparently that's the limit.
Yeah, aquariums are
So then that's how you have
We're now at Big Branch Marsh National Wildlife Refuge. Checking out the boardwalk there. Hello, hello. Well, today is our last full day in Louisiana. We have to go back to Wisconsin tomorrow, sadly. And for our final day, we're doing some swamp exploration. We're currently in Atchafalaya National Wildlife Refuge in the Atchafalaya Wetland Basin, which is the largest. So we're in the Atchafalaya Wetland, which is supposedly one of the largest wetlands in North America. Somewhere I read largest continuous wetland, largest river swamp wetland. I'm not sure exactly where it stands, but it's a very large wetland complex just west of Baton Rouge. It's comprised of a bunch of different types of wetland bayous and swamps. This is sort of bottomland hardwood here. It's quite dry. It's a very chilly day. There might even be a little bit of snow in the forecast. Like the rest of the continent, there's a deep freeze coming. It's supposed to get below freezing here, which is very unusual tomorrow. But anyway, today we're exploring this wetland, hoping to see some birds, some cool swamp bayou habitat.
Maybe a gator.
Maybe a gator, although it's
Probably too cold.
pretty cold today. This is the Manuel Bayou. We're just doing a little driving tour through another part of the refuge. And this old bridge, which we thought we could drive over, is a walking bridge, it turns out. So we're gonna have to loop back the same way we came. Okay, here we are at Lake Martin, which is a small water body just outside Lafayette, which is a good example of Cypress tupelo swamp. Apparently it's a haven for alligators and colonial wading birds like egrets and herons and spoonbills in the summertime. Right now it's probably going to be pretty quiet, but we really wanted to come here to see the cypress swamp. There's some boardwalk to check out, and maybe some birds, we'll see. The visitor center unfortunately was only open on the weekend, so we couldn't go inside. But it's very quiet, there's nobody else here, so it'll be nice.
Do you think we'll see a 15-foot long gator?
Well, I wish. Probably not. Apparently there's some big gators here that can be seen in the spring and the summertime. And actually this trail is closed in the summer because of gator season. So, gotta come back. Uh-oh. Well, looks like that's it for the boardwalk, sadly. Here's some nice bald cypress trees. Well, we've made it a little over a quarter of the way, maybe a third of the way around the lake. It's pretty cold and windy. We got to the point where you can see the open water. It's actually a large body of water, tons of birds out there, and there's like a little marina with boat tours. There's tons of egrets here, great egrets, and neotropical cormorants. But we're gonna head back and walk back to the car because it's cold. Well, we've got one evening in Baton Rouge, and this is it. It's cold, it's windy, it's getting dark, and we're just checking out the waterfront. There's the Mississippi River. Well, we had one more breakfast in Louisiana before we leave, and this is three things: the beignets and alligator sausage, eggs benny, fried chicken and eggs, and biscuits. Oh boy.